Scripture teaches us that for everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. My friends, no matter what title you all, my colleagues, have bestowed upon me, speaker, leader, whip, there is no greater official honor for me than to stand on this floor and to speak for the people of San Francisco. This I will continue to do as a member of the House, speaking for the people of San Francisco, serving the great state of California, and defending our Constitution. And with great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress. For me, the hour's come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect. And I'm grateful that so many are ready and willing to shoulder this awesome responsibility.
Now, another big international meeting has been going on this week, the G20 in Bali in Indonesia. And China's President Xi Jinping and Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau have exchanged tense words on the sidelines of that summit. China and Canada's relations have been strained in recent years. Canada arrested a Huawei executive in 2018. China arrested 2 Canadians, then on spying charges. All 3 were later released. Well, a short follow-up conversation between Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Xi was picked up by the press pool at the G20, and it wasn't entirely friendly. Let's have a listen.
If everything we discuss is then leaked to the paper, that's not appropriate.
而且我们也不是那样进行的。
And that's not how the way the conversation was
如
conducted.
果有诚心，咱们就以互相尊重的态度来进行很好的沟通。
If there is
否则这个结果就不好说了。
if there is sincerity on your part,
free and open and frank dialogue, and that is what we will continue to have. We will continue to look to work constructively together, but there will be things we will disagree on, and we will have
也可以建设性。
创造条件，创造条件。
Let's create the conditions first.
好。
Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Xi.
It's only once Russia leaves that you get a sense of what they've done. What allegedly happened here is a picture of brutality. This used to be a police station in Kherson. After Russian forces took control, officials say it became a torture chamber. Angela, a TV journalist, now in Kiev, spent 31 days there.
On the 3rd floor, people, men, were beaten. On the 1st floor, we heard that it was electrocution. When the person is being tortured with electricity, you hear it. It is a peculiar sound.
After hearing what Angela's been through, you get a really vivid glimpse of what this place must have been like. There is still the smell of burning in the air, but the silence is almost deafening, and each one of these rooms has its own story, and all of them will come out over time. She shared cell number 6 with 4 other women. What she didn't know was that her boyfriend was there too.
There were some people who were electrocuted. It was horrible. One guy was brought to the cell after interrogation. His tongue was black. It was so swollen, he couldn't put it back in his mouth.
In Kherson, daily life runs alongside grim discoveries. A mass grave was found here. Elsewhere in the city, the bodies of 63 civilians were also found. They all, say investigators, showed signs of being tortured. There were more than 3,000 crimes committed throughout occupation, the chief investigator tells us. 90% of them are war crimes, including rape, torture and murder. As the evidence mounts, so do Moscow's denials of targeting civilians. But when Russia retreats, it leaves a now familiar footprint. James Waterhouse, BBC News, Kherson.
Joining us now from Capitol Hill, NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor. His new reporting is entitled Republican Infighting Escalates Over Poor 2022 Election Results as Trump Reemerges. And Sahil, it seems to me some Republican leaders, some, are trying to sort of avoid Trump, at least say things that seem to reject Trumpism, but they haven't completely run from him yet.
I think that's right, Mika. There are some very contentious intra-party clashes going on within the Republican Party at this moment about what went wrong in the 2022 midterm election, about why they underperformed. And Trump is kind of up there looming over this entire picture because obviously he has a huge influence over the party. He has been the dominant force over the party for the last 7 years. And some Republicans, albeit quietly for the most part, do blame him. But the way to understand this feud is to look at the clash between Rick Scott, the Republican campaign chief in the Senate, and Mitch McConnell, the minority leader. These two went up against each other in an election for McConnell's top job, which he retained, even though it was the most serious challenge that McConnell had ever faced in his 15 years as leader. Simply, the Rick Scott position is that Republicans failed because they weren't bold and resolute enough, that they didn't do enough to inspire Republicans and conservative voters by offering a governing vision, and that's why, according to Rick Scott, they lost. Mitch McConnell's view is that that's a bunch of hogwash, that the reason Mitch McConnell thinks Republicans lost is that they alienated people in the middle, moderates, independent voters. McConnell said that too many of them viewed Republicans as the party of chaos, as the party of negativity, and in his view, that frightened those voters. That's pretty strong language coming from Mitch McConnell. So you have very different diagnoses and very different ideas about how to fix what happened in 2022. There is no consensus at this point, and some Republicans I spoke to, including Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, suggested that maybe the party should move on from Trump. Maybe it should not be about one person. John Cornyn, who's a former top deputy to Mitch McConnell, had this to say. I want to put this up on the screen. I thought it was pretty illuminating. What Cornyn told me was that the constant rhetoric about looking back at the 2020 election was not appealing to voters. He went on to say, what I hope we learn from this is you can't win the general election merely because of your base vote. You've got to expand the vote beyond that. That is sort of politics 101, but sometimes apparently we forget, unquote. So there you are, different visions of what went on, different theories about why Republicans underperformed, no consensus. It's going to be a party a little bit in the wilderness for a while, even though they have that very narrow House majority.
Because some Republicans breaking with Trump, we'll see how long this holds. It feels like we've seen this movie before.
Delegates at the UN climate conference in Egypt have warned that negotiations are moving forward more slowly than expected. The summit is scheduled to end this Friday, but deep divisions remain. The president-elect of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, says his country has returned, though, to the fight against global warming. Our climate editor, Justin Rowland, reports from the conference in Sharm el-Sheikh.
Lula received a hero's welcome as he arrived here in Egypt. Brazil is back, was his message. He said fighting climate change will be his #1 priority, and he promised to start rebuilding the agencies that police the forest as soon as he takes office in January.
It's time to act. We have to stop this rush to the abyss. What we need is hope. Hope combined with immediate and decisive action for the future of the planet and for humankind.
There is no question that Lula is the star of this conference, but he faces real problems at home. Brazil's finances are in trouble, he doesn't have control of the parliament, and there's no doubt his rival Jair Bolsonaro will be making trouble for him.
Under Bolsonaro, rates of deforestation rose rapidly. He was accused of encouraging loggers and miners to go into the forest and of hobbling the environmental police. Lula says his target is zero deforestation. He promised to start rebuilding the agencies that police the forest as soon as he takes office in January. But his team acknowledges there is hard work ahead.
This won't be an easy process. There was a dismantling of all policies related to the environment, but if we rebuild the budget, if we rebuild the teams, I am confident we will be able to achieve our goals.
That change cannot come quickly enough, say the indigenous communities who are on the front line of the conflict in Brazil's forests.
They are illegal miners, they are poisoning our rivers and deforesting our forests.
The crowds surged around the Brazilian president-elect after his speech. Lula says he's urging the UN to allow Brazil to host the 2025 UN climate conference, and he says he wants it to be held in the Amazon itself. Justin Rolat, BBC News, Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt.